Hello and welcome to Geek Devotions, show from Devoted Geeks, who are devoted to letting you know you're loved. I'm Dallas, and today, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to our amazing community here at Geek Devotions, we're doing a top tier list of 90s and early 2000s anime using the website tiermaker.com. So all the anime that you guys are going to see on this list are provided by the amazing individuals in our Discord channel. Now, that being said, the criteria for this, I need you guys to understand. All anime, we talked about it while we're prepping this, we all love different shows for different reasons. They hit us in a special sweet spot. So this is completely subjective. So you may like my list, you may not like my list. You may discover things you never heard of, and that's cool. But if I don't rank yours as high as maybe you think it would be, or maybe it's on your list, please don't take it as personal. It's not an attack. These are just, it's how it hits me. And whatever it's hitting you guys with some of the stuff, you have reasons for it, and that's totally cool. But I want to hear what's your top tier, S tier animes. That being said, let's get into making our list. All right, jumping over. All right, so here we are. We're on our tier ranker. Coming down here. All right, so we got S, A, B, C, and D. So here's how this is gonna work out. S tier is like top tier. Like this is the bomb diggity. S tier is the best tier, right? A tier is really good. B tier, C tier, D tier. D tier is like bottom rank, bottom of the thing. Now, because these were all suggested by people in the community, we're keeping this in mind. None of this is just trash. I mean, there might be some that's just trash for some people, but it hit somebody some more. So what's gonna happen is S tier will be my personal, like, I love this. I don't care what you say. This is my personal favorite. I love this so much. A tier, great. B tier, okay, not bad. C tier, here's what we're gonna do. This is gonna be, So this is gonna be kind of like the top shelf that we have here. So S tier is my personal favorite. This is great. This is not bad. This isn't great. And then what we're gonna do is D tier. It's not a bad tier. Here's what we're gonna do. Unknown. I'm putting this here because, to be fair, because to be honest, there's some things that I just don't know. I've not seen this, and I don't want to offend people. So let's jump into it, guys. Let's start rating some anime here that we have here. Starting off the list, we have Appleseed. Now, Appleseed was an anime from the 90s. It's one of those ones that I watched on like Sci-Fi Channel where we would do anime. It's like 80s, early 90s style anime, but a lot of us came to know it back in the 90s. I rather enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting, but going back and rewatching it, it's a bit slow. It's a bit slow. It's not my like, yes, I gotta watch it. So I'm gonna drop this in the B tier, B list for Appleseed. Next up, Cowboy Bebop. What can we say about Cowboy Bebop? This is a series that has captured the hearts and minds of many people over the years. There are some people, I know that our friend Francisco from Retro Rewind, he didn't particularly care for the series. It's got an interesting pacing. The music, superb, beautiful music. The pacing in the story, though, there's some times we're like, oh, okay, we're moving along. It's okay. We're rocking with it. But is it top tier? It doesn't hit my S tier. It's not there for me. It's not bad. It's definitely not C tier. I'm gonna put it here on the B tier also. And you're like, that's a lot of B tier. I know, but it's there. All right, Yu-Gi-Oh. How do we place Yu-Gi-Oh? Now this is an interesting question. Yu-Gi-Oh, it was a card game. It was a messed up manga in the very first mangas was really wild. And then it became more kid friendly. And then 4 kids got a hold of it and it became super kiddie. So, what we're going to do with Yu-Gi-Oh, it's not my S tier. It's not a great anime. I don't think it's trash, but it's not this level. It's definitely, so I'm gonna put it on C tier. I'm gonna put it on the C tier. All right, next up is, okay, this is one of those ones I don't know. This was Magical Girl, Lyrical, Nanoha. I don't know this one, and I'm intrigued. I'm gonna check it out later, but because I don't know jack, dilly, and or squat about it, we're gonna put it on unknown, and hopefully I can go back and check it out later. Next is Ranma 1/2. Ranma 1/2 was one of those weird ones. Kid basically falls in a well and Basically, every time he gets wet, he turns into a girl, and his grandpa turns into a panda. Weird things take place, or maybe this is his dad. Again, not a top tier for me. Not one I had that I was like, yeah, this is great. So I'm gonna put it here on the C tier. Inuyasha. This was a fun anime. I watched a little bit of this, but it's not one of the ones that I was just like super hardcore into. It was fun, but not one of the ones I was just like, I gotta watch this. So we're gonna put it here on C tier. Celeste may not be happy with me. All right, Spirited Away. Miyazaki films are fascinating because a lot of times people are like, oh, Miyazaki, they're so great. And they are. They're beautiful. Superb animation so many times. Storytelling, fantastic. This one, though, I genuinely enjoy. I love it a lot. And so we're going to put it up here on the A tier. Neon Genesis Evangelion. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about trauma. If Neon Evangelion is your favorite anime, you need to see a professional counselor probably. Just saying. Because there is some trauma taking place in this anime. So how are we going to place it? First off, animation style is beautiful. I did enjoy it. The storytelling, it gets weird. And the further you go, the weirder it gets. I'm not sure how often I'm going to watch that again. And so I'm going to place this. I'm conflicted. I'm not gonna watch it often, so C tier makes sense, but it's definitely better than these down here. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the B tier. IRIA. Now this one, we were talking about it beforehand. I have a love for the art in IRIA. I think it's beautiful. I think it's something special because it was in that time frame where anime was just so. I don't know, there was a grittiness to it. There was a feeling to anime at the time. The way the art style, the pencil strokes could be seen. I enjoyed it so much. And I've watched it several times. I own it. Now, it is a slow-paced anime. It is a little bit bump, ba-dup at times, but then there's times where it's just like bam, bam, bam. So I'm gonna put this on the B tier list. Now, Celeste says, we're never gonna watch Neon Genesis again. Yeah, too much emotional damage. Gundam Wing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here's the deal. Here's the deal. As some of you know, I run a podcast where we talk about Gundam. Currently on that podcast, The Gundam Watch, go check it out on your favorite podcast catchers. We're talking about Gundam Wing. Do I like it? I like it. I like Gundam. Do I like giant robots? I like giant robots. Do I like drama? I like drama. But is it good? This is one of those ones that, in the Gundam spaces, people crap on a lot. However, I will admit it's probably not an A tier. I don't think it's C tier. It probably belongs here, but as we said at the beginning of this conversation, anime can be subjective. I personally, Gundam Wing hits me special. It really does, because of the memories I share with my sister, and this time frame I discovered it when I was watching it. So I'm gonna put this up here at S tier. That's where I'm putting it. I know, again, it's special to me. It's okay if it's not special to you, but for me it is. So it's going up there. All right, Mobile Fighter G Gundam. This is one that so many people that I've discovered love. I will admit, I was a bit thrown back. Again, my first experience to Gundam was this guy right here, Gundam Wing. And I was like, what is this G Gundam? Let's check it out. I like Gundam. And all of a sudden, it's like racism with giant robots. I don't know what's happening. Why is there a giant windmill for a Gundam? Why is the Mexican Gundam wearing a sombrero and called a tequila Gundam? What's happening here? That being said, I have watched it. I've watched quite a bit of it. And it doesn't hit special for me like it does some great people like our friends Drew over at the Cellcast. However, I recognize it's a fun anime. I enjoy it. I enjoy what takes place in it. So I am going to put it under B tier. It's going on the B tier, ladies and gentlemen. Medabots! Let's talk about Medabots, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of those ones that nobody knows, nobody talks about, probably for good reasons. It was on Fox. Ladies and gentlemen, Fox. I think it was Fox. I may be having fever dream memories of this, but I remember it being on Fox Kids as a young man back in the 90s. People were like, oh, nobody knew what anime was until Toonami was putting out. No, sucker, no. Rewind the track. We had anime on Fox. We had Card Captain Sakura. We had Escaflowne. We had Medabots. And Medabots was interesting. It was like little tiny robots, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. My boy Kyle is in the chat, and he's agreeing with me because I enjoyed it. I remember watching it. It was a fun anime. Is it A tier? No. Is it special tier? No, it's not. I don't think it's B tier either. We're gonna go ahead and drop it on the C tier. It's not trash. It's not trash anime. It's a fun kiddie anime. So we're gonna drop it right there. Socast goes, it's Dragon Ball Z and giant robots. Yeah, that's exactly how you define G Fighter. Dragon Ball Z with giant robots, exactly. All right, Ninja Scroll. Let's talk about Ninja Scroll. This move anime, I probably shouldn't have watched when I was a kid. I probably should not have been watching it as a young man. Just being real with you. Animation wise, I found it beautiful. It is legitimately a beautiful anime. It's not one that I've returned to probably. Guys, it may have been like 2005, maybe stretching it the last time I saw Ninja Scroll. I think it has its warrants. I think it has some good points to it. The animation style is, but it wasn't one of those that I just stuck to. Cellcast goes, I shouldn't have watched Ninja Scroll when we reviewed it a few weeks ago. Probably. So I'm gonna put it, again, I know people love this one. Honestly though, I feel like a lot of the love for it was because when it came out, anime was so raw for the American audience. Everyone knew Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Medabots. But this was like, oh, this is different. This is edgy. And so they thought it was cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and just drop, this is controversial, C tier. Sorry guys, C tier. All right, MS Team 08, Gundam. This anime, ladies and gentlemen, this is another one of those Gundam series that I have a lot of love for. I think it doesn't hit the special for me, but I think it's beautiful, and I think it does a lot of interesting. Again, it was part of that whole time frame where you saw the lines of the drawings. There was a grittiness to it. There was a rawness to it. It took the conversation of war with giant robots outside of space for the Gundam universe, and it grounded it. This was like guerrilla warfare on Earth with giant robots. I felt like there was a lot more depth and richness to this series than some of the other Gundam series that we saw then. Because of that, people won't like my answer. I'm A-listing this one. I'm A-listing that anime right there. Fushigi Yugi. Fushigi Yugi was one of my first anime series that I watched all the way through. I mean, all the way through. I had a great friend. Thank you, Coyote, for validating my thoughts on 08 team. I really appreciate that, buddy. So I had a great friend in high school named Rachel, and fantastic individual. Love her to death. Know her and her husband. Her husband's an amazing man. I love the dude so much. Just a great A, fantastic. They're in my S tier and A tier for families that I know. I'm not gonna start rating people. Stop asking. But Rachel and I, we had a lot of conversations about anime and stuff like that. Again, this was during the time frame where I was going through a lot. My family was disrupted. We were homeless for a period of time, and we were just starting to get on our feet. And Rachel didn't give me, she loaned me animes. This is one of the ones, I had the letter somewhere. Actually, this is funny. She wrote a letter when she let me borrow them, threatening me. I don't know where the letter is. I have it in this house somewhere. So I have it hits that special tier for me. Not as much as Gundam does. So I'm not gonna put it in the S tier. It's not a C tier list though, but it's a romance, magical, not isekai, but it's about a girl transported to another universe. So I'm gonna drop it in the B tier. I enjoyed it. I think it's beautiful. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of great memories of it, but that's where it's gonna go. All right, Slayers, another one that I was my friends were violent. I'm realizing this. I had some violent friends. I'm having some internal monologue right now happening. Huh. Why are my friends so violent? Anyways, that's beside the point. Ladies and gentlemen, Slayers was another one of those. It was a high fantasy anime. It was a lot of fun. A friend of mine loaned it to me. I never got a chance to watch it all the way through, but it's one of the ones that stood out because of the time frame that I saw it in. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the B list also. It's fun. It's not the greatest anime, but no, what? No, I'm gonna drop it down to C tier. It's a good anime. But it's not one that I just like, yes, gotta watch it. All right, Pokemon. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about Pokemon here. Is Pokemon a good anime? Yeah, kinda, sometimes. Is it like this level of anime up here? Like Miyazaki film or 08? No, it's a kid's anime. It's built for kids with some humor and things that leans a little more towards adults. So where do we put it? How do we place this anime? I think any anime that has captured multiple generations, catch that, multiple generations have loved Pokemon. I was watching Pokemon in the 5th grade in 1998. Okay? The episode, I have vivid memories of the episode where Ash was trying to send Pikachu away. I have memories of crying at that scene, guys. It was emotional. And then the video games. Love the video games. I played the mess out of Red and Blue. For this reason, me personally, Pokemon does not get C tier. It gets B tier. It goes up there. Boom, right there. Trigun. Now this is one of the ones I only got to watch a bit of. I enjoyed what I saw. I thought it was fun. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a bit wild at times. I liked it a lot, so I'm gonna give it a B tier. So Cass goes, note to self, if I ever loan Dallas anime, threaten him. Probably. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dragon Ball Z. This one gets a lot of hate by people. I want to explain something to you. Dragon Ball Z is more than just people grunting and yelling for 5 episodes. Yes, that does happen. Not denying it. I don't know of any Dragon Ball Z fan who would deny it. But there are people who dog Dragon Ball Z. They feel like it's overhyped. It's too much. There's a lot of nostalgia feelings for it. Not gonna lie. But I think that it has some great, if you watch it from the beginning, especially if you understand what's happening in the world, there's some big things taking place. Celeste has only been through half of the original Dragon Ball. We jumped over to watch Dragon Ball Z for a minute, and she was like, holy crap. Like, she saw what I saw in it. Like, there's some cool things that take place in it. So, it's not C tier. It doesn't belong there. It's not A tier. I'll give you that. It could theoretically belong on this B tier right here. Like, it's a good anime. I would recommend it to just about anybody. Where are we putting it? We're putting an S tier. Special tier. Remember, that's not that it's like, it's the anime everybody, it's special to me. I love that anime. I have a lot of great memories watching it. A lot of great time just going through it with friends, family. It brought people together. Like, it was a talking point for whole communities for that purpose because of what it meant to me. S tier, ladies and gentlemen. All right. This one, Impossible Captain Tylor. As I said. So Cass goes S tier, aka Super Saiyan tier. Absolutely. I've not seen this. I have no idea what this is. I saw some clips. They look interesting. It kind of gives me like what was it called? I want to say Galaxy Express 999, but not. Like the newer stuff that was kind of in the same world of Galaxy Express 999. And if not that, oh man. Galaxy Express 999. I have to go watch more of that. Anyways, sorry. Distraction. I'm gonna put it here on unknown. I want to check it out. It looks interesting. It looks like a legitimately a fascinating anime to watch. So we'll check it out later. Coyote says, I think the only take I see on here I don't agree with so far is Bebop, but no one's taste can be perfect. So where would you go, up with it or down with it, Coyote? Just curious. Socast goes, it's a space comedy anime. Oh, interesting. Death Note, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Death Note. This is a wild anime. I watched this one in college. On a whim, I obtained it, and a couple of my buddies and I started watching it. I watched the first episode, and one of my buddies came into the dorm room and he's like, what are you watching? I was like, I'm watching anime, man. It's just, this anime was highly recommended by some friends. And they're like, okay, cool. And so he sat down and watched it with me. He was kind of like one of those like, oh, okay, what is this anime junk? You know, one of those guys. We binged like 10 episodes that night. Like the sun was coming up soon. Like in a few hours, and we needed to get some sleep. We were surprised at how good it was. I watched the entire thing. Several years ago, when Celeste and I first got married, we started watching it together because she'd never seen it. We loved it. It was great. It was beautiful. I was intrigued. The story sucked you in. The drama, the mystery, the chess game between Elle and Kira were amazing until you get to like the last third of the series, and it just crashes. Like it just, you're like, why are we here? It was so perfectly close to A tier, and then it crashes. The question becomes, does it belong on a B tier because of what happened to it? Honestly, guys, I want to put it here, but those first several episodes were so good. The first like 2/3. I'm a man who likes to give grace for things. I'm dropping it on the A tier. I'm dropping it there, guys. Coyote says, A tier, talking about Cowboy Bebop, at least, but but that also may reflect the person I was when I watched. That's a possibility, my dude. That's and again, that's cool. That's one of the things we talked about again at the beginning of this video. Anime hits people differently in different stages in their lives, and some of it we connect differently than other ones. Dale says, Battle of the Planet, Scotchaman, and Voltron are the closest I can come to it. Those are great animes too. They're a little bit early for this list because we're doing 90s and 80s, or 90s and 2000s. I loved Voltron. I like Gatchaman. I thought that was great too. Howl's Moving Castle. This anime, beautiful. Beautiful anime. Interesting storytelling. Interesting. It's a fun anime. It's a good anime. Again, Miyazaki has a storytelling though that at times where it's like, okay, but he keeps it going. I'm dropping this on the A tier. That's where Howl's is going. Cellcast goes, Howl's is a great anime, but the book is better. I've heard that. I've heard the book is better. Vampire Hunter D. This is one of those ones. It was a dark series. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was intriguing. It was a lot of fun. I watched it on VHS years ago when I was a kid. And I probably should have rented it. My mom just like, cartoons, here you go. And because it's a darker anime. Not that I was like, it was too much for me. It was just darker. I enjoyed it. I like it a lot. It's not one that I keep going back to. I know Francisco Ruiz over at Retro loves the mess out of this one, and that's valid. I'm putting it on B tier though. It's a B tier for me. It's a really good anime. I recommend people check it out. But yeah, Princess Mononoke. Okay, so this is another one of those ones that again, hits you special, beautiful animation, fascinating story. Everything about this is one of those ones also just slapped here in America. Like people just like loved it. A tier, dropping it on the A list right there. Escaflowne. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Fox Fox is right here, ladies and gentlemen. Fox Kids delivering anime for us to consume and take in. It was an interesting anime series. It had a mech, though. Wasn't necessarily made of metal. It was fascinating. It was fun. It was interesting. I liked it so much, I bought it on DVD and gave it to my sister as a gift because she liked it too. Is it my favorite? No, it's not here for sure. We're dropping on the B list. B tier, ladies and gentlemen. Soulcast goes, if we're doing 80s, Kiki's would have definitely been. I get that. Totally get that. Ponyo. Again, we talked about before in the pre-show. That's one of those ones that people that had just a stunning next level casting of voices and whatnot. But I was bored with it. It was so boring. I just was not rocking with it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. Please don't rage against me. C list. Ponyo's on the C list for me, guys. I am so sorry. Ghost in the Shell. This is one of those ones, again, saw in the early formal days when I was discovering anime, figuring things out. I enjoyed it. I thought it was beautifully executed. It was one of those animes that had these long drawn shots that were just so cinematically beautiful and done so well artistically. I genuinely enjoyed this movie. I own this movie. I bought it from Hollywood Video when Hollywood Video was closing. When they were closing, I went into Hollywood Video. Got a few things. And that was one of them. All right, so I'm putting Ghost in the Shell. I'm putting it on the A list. I think A list is where it's going to go for us. For me. Now, Standalone Complex was a series they did. And it was fun. It was all right. I do not think it's up here. It's not C tier. So I'm going to drop it here on the B tier. I think it's fine there. Monster Ranchers. This was one of those ones that nobody remembers. Nobody remembers the PlayStation video game. Every time I think about this, I think of the Roughnecks, the Starship Troopers animated show, because they came on after each other. I watched like 6 or 7 episodes of it. It was enough to stick my head as one of those, oh, that's a show. But it's not one of the ones that I'm just like, yeah, this is the thing. So I'm gonna drop this on the C list. It was a fun show. I don't think people remember it, but it was pretty cool. Cellcast goes, the PlayStation video game where you could summon a monster from any CD you have. Yes, exactly. Thank you for remembering that. Coyote, I almost spit my drink through my nose. Monster Rancher was a Walmart brand Digimon. You dirty for that, bro. You dirty. But you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. Sometimes you gotta have that great value. All right, Detective Conan. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I've heard about Detective Conan. I've heard about the greatness of it. I have yet to watch a single episode of it. If anybody can tell me where I can legally watch it, I'll watch some. But we're gonna put it under unknown. It looks great. It looks fun. But it's just there. Armitage III. This is one of those animes that if you grew up in the 90s, you probably watched it on Sci-Fi Channel. Being real with you. You probably watched Armitage III on the Sci-Fi Channel in the 90s and early 2000s. It was weird. It was interesting. It was one of my early exposures to anime. I thought it was beautiful. It's not an A list. I do not think it's B list either. I don't think it belongs here. I'm gonna drop on it. Again, it's not the greatest, but it's interesting anime. Viewer discretion advised though with it. Cellcast goes, some of Conan is on Crunchyroll. Oh really? I'll check that out. YuYu Hakusho. Again, it was that sweet spot of anime where the art had an interesting style. It was an interesting story. Did not personally have the opportunity to dive deep into it. I didn't have the friends who could pass me the animes at the time. When I saw it, I thought it was good. I thought it was interesting. But I never got a chance to really dig into it. Because of that, I'm giving it a C tier list, guys. The Cat Returns. This is one of those ones that I have seen bits and pieces of it, and I enjoyed what I watched. I do not think it's on the level of other Miyazaki films. It's just not there. Feline Doctor Who, right. But I don't think it's as good as Princess Mononoke or Howl's Moving Castle or Spirited Away. It's not a C-lister, for sure. So because of that, we're gonna drop it here on the B list, right there, ladies and gentlemen. Cardcaptor Sakura. Again, Fox Kids introducing it to us. Again, it was done by 4 kids, it was chopped up, all those things. I hear that the original version is better. I remember having fun with it. I remember thinking it was a cute show. So we're gonna put it here on the C list. All right, speaking of which, Sailor Moon. Where does Sailor Moon belong? Ladies and gentlemen, Sailor Moon is one of those animes that's been around forever. It was one of those ones that, again, well before Toonami was a thing, we saw it. In fact, my first exposure to Sailor Moon, I was a kid. And hold on one second. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I thought that I had it back here. There was I have a manga. It was one of the very first mangas I ever bought. There was a magazine called Mix Zine, and it had several mangas inside of it. It was kind of like Shonen Jump, but it was a far more eclectic mix of stuff. So it had Sailor Moon, had a couple other things, a couple other American properties, and Parasite, actually. And that was one of my first exposures to Sailor Moon. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It is not a C-list tier. Sailor Moon, for me, is not special, though. It's not S tier for me. I'm not sure it's A-list. I know there's several different versions of Sailor Moon, but we're going to drop it here on the B list, right here. That's where we're going to put it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so Street Fighter 2. I like this one, mostly because it feels like Japan was like, America, you screwed up my show. We have to fix this. And so they came out with Street Fighter 2, the anime. It was another one of those ones that I saw early on. I had a friend that passed me a VHS tape with this and Porco Rosso on it. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was good. Again, I don't think it's A tier, though the animation of it was really level. It was a great level of animation to it. It is Street Fighter. No, at its core, Street Fighter 2 was, I don't think there's enough richness and depth to it for it to be A-list for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop it on the B tier. Whisper of the Heart. I never watched it. C tier, or no. Outlaw Star. This was a cool show. This was pretty neat. It came out, again, kind of the same time frame as Cowboy, Bebop, and several other ones. It had this cool space, westerny, they were kind of edgy, but cool stuff going on here. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I'm gonna drop it on the B list. Bleach. What can we talk about with Bleach? This is a long running show. Unfortunately, it's like many long shows, it is filled with all kinds of filler, but through that filler, there's something special about it. Like, I enjoyed it. Celeste and I binged the entire thing, and we are currently on the edge of our seats watching 1,000 Year Blood War. We are invested in this show. We enjoy Bleach quite a bit, and I can honestly say that it's not a C tier, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a B tier. Full Metal Alchemist, another great anime series. Now, I have listed here Brotherhood. I do think Brotherhood is probably better than the original one. I know when Brotherhood came out, people were angry because it was short, or it was shorter, but what they shortened was they took out some of the filler, which I get, depending on how that works out, that can be a good thing or a bad thing. But it's a great anime. It's a lot of fun. I think it's one of those ones that people should watch on a regular, should check out. So we're gonna put it on the B list right there. Cellcast goes, Whisper of the Heart is kind of a prequel to The Cat Returns, but also has nothing to do with it except sharing two characters. That's interesting. I think I've heard that though before, Cellcast. Hellsing, I've heard of this. I've never watched it, so we're putting it on unknown. Tenchi Muyo. We talked about this beforehand. Tenchi Muyo is one of those series that I watched as a young man when I was going through some of the hardest stuff in my life. My family was going through some hard things, and for me, seeing this young man named Tenchi, surrounded by people who loved him, who cared about him, and there was a friendship that was there. I found myself wanting that, and it gave me comfort watching Tenchi Muyo. Again, parental discretion advised, because there's some stuff in it that's just not appropriate for a lot of folks. But especially the movie. The movie itself really hit me. I watched the movie late night while recovering from surgery one night when I was a teenager, and I thought it was beautiful. I thought that the cinematics were amazing. I thought the way that the storytelling went, I was drawn into this world through the movie before I even saw the show itself. I'm putting Tenchi Muyo, not C tier, not A tier though, but it's not B tier. Ladies and gentlemen, it's S tier. S tier is where I'm putting it. It just hit me, and I just realized right now it's the Toonami lineup. Dag nabbit. It's the Toonami lineup up there for me. All right, Chrono Crusade, never seen it. Spice and Wolf, never seen it. I want to see these things. I really do. I want to check out what they are. I see that Coyote said that Hellsing is good. Hellsing also is better. I'll check those out. I'll have to look into those. Coyote says, I love Tenchi, but I am reminded of the old bump from Toonami. He's got 99 problems, and these girls are most of them. That's funny. That's funny, sir. That's legitimately some funny stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my tier list right here of anime. And I want to know your guys' thoughts. How would you guys have rated this? Would you have moved some of these up? Would you move some down? Let me know. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on it. But again, this is what we have. This is what we've created. And I appreciate you guys coming along the ride for us. Again, if you're new to Geek Devotions, we take geek culture. We let people know they love and they're cared for. Again, because so much of this, that's what did. So much of this, I found love. I found hope. I was encouraged and reminded of some great things because of stuff like this. And so I'm so thankful. And if you like this, make sure you subscribe to our channels. And yeah, until next time, stay devoted. Peace and love.